I came that day.
Thanks.
Oh, you gave, there you go. I gave you cap.
Congratulations, thanks Kathy, first of all, congratulations, ran a great race, and you worked hard and paid off, I'm just so happy for you.
Hopefully I get to stay on the committee.
And we got a brand new member, Stephen.
Yeah, just Steve is fine, thank you.
Robots.
Yes, Rubus, that's close enough. A lot of people murder it.
Give us a little background, please.
Yeah, I'm an architect with Berner Schober. Live over on the west side, about 2 miles from here. This is one of a couple of commissions I sit on for the city, and thrilled to be here and help.
Welcome, we're so glad to have you. Fantastic, heard a lot of great things.
Cheryl, cut it out.
Any relation to the Shrubus former?
Yeah, that's your old dad, Randy, yeah. Yep.
So I guess we do a roll call, Cheryl, please.
All right, Chair Gary Delbo.
Here.
Vice Chair Matt Schuler.
Here.
Alder Randy Skin.
Present.
Debbie Dean. Here. Alder-elect Kathy Hinckus.
Here.
Melody Parma is excused, and Steve Rubus.
Here.
Fantastic, we have a quorum, excellent. Approval agenda, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Carroll and Kathy, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Approval of minutes from March 12th.
Move to approve those minutes.
Alderman Scannell,
Second.
second by Debbie. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, thank you. Regular order of business. Consideration, number one, consideration of possible action to approve a planning option extension to New Lane Enterprises for RD-owned property at 221 Cherry Street, parcel 12-112. Cheryl,
Matt's
please.
going to take this.
Yes, so I've got this one.
I'm sorry, Matt.
No problem. So back in May of last year, we first came to you with this planning option request with Newland. This is, most of us locals know it as the former Boston store parking lot. Some of us know it as the Adams Street surface parking lot.
Yes.
Near Cherry and Adams. So this is an RDM parcel that we are working with Newland on a redevelopment proposal. Back in January, we extended the planning option for a few months to hash out a development agreement. We are nearly completed with that negotiation, but we just need a little bit more time.
Good.
So we're requesting one additional month. But today, Newland has joined us. They're here with us in person.
Fantastic.
And they do have a presentation to
Excellent.
share if we would like to open the floor.
Absolutely.
Motion to open the floor.
Motion, Alderman Scannell,
Second.
second by Matt. All in favor, open the floor, sing with saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you and welcome.
Yes, welcome.
We're very excited to have you. Fantastic.
Well, thank you. My name is Joey Wisniewski with Newland Enterprises, Senior Development Coordinator. With me is Boris Gockman, one of our founders of our company, as well as Zach Brenner, our Development Analyst. Again, thank you for having us. We wanted to be here in January. Weather was a little brutal, and we didn't, and at that time, coming for the extension, we thought, we wanted to wait and make a better first impression when we had something really compelling to show you and share with you all. So thank you again for having us. You can go on to the next slide. So just a quick refresher of who we are. We are a real estate development company based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There we have around 85 employees. Have developed over 28 projects, over $650 million worth of development, specializing in market rate, mixed-use residential, commercial. We have expertise in light frame, light gauge steel, post-tension construction, and mass timber. One of the things that makes us what we feel is a strong partner with the municipalities, that we're long-term investors. We are not a merchant developer. We don't plan on selling. We don't usually sell. It's not really part of our strategy. Our strategy is to be a partner with the communities in which we develop. And to do that, we are vertically integrated. Go to the next slide, please. So to be vertically integrated, you need to have award-winning property management and asset management. So we take great pride in the fact that when we are building and thinking about building in a community, we're going to be there for a while, so we want to make sure that we're managing our properties ourselves. So you will see new land staff, new land maintenance, new land leasing professionals on site. That goes for all 2,000 of our apartments that we rent in the Milwaukee area, over 200,000 square feet of commercial space. And again, we look to be a partner in where we develop. So we've been awarded a number of city RFPs. We've had very in-depth and unique collaborations with the city of Milwaukee. We've turned alleys into mural spaces. We've turned underutilized streets into pedestrian plazas, into city parks. So that's, again, a way that we think is the best way to engage our municipalities, is to collaborate and to find unique solutions. Go to the next one. So just more about just the history of Newland. We recently completed the world's tallest mass timber building. We were one of the first developers in Wisconsin to use light gauge steel for multifamily development. We use radiant hydronic heating systems. We've developed micro units with integrated furniture. We've done many buildings with LEED, Green Globe certifications, Energy Star certifications. So again, being a long-term partner, long-term investor, we're thinking about the long-term sustainability of our projects as well. Part of our just ethos is that, we don't just build to have a nice building, we build to be a part of the community, and that includes building relationships between the built environment for our residents inside the community, inside of the building, but also spreading outward around the community around them. So we really try to become a part of the fabric of the community, and that's what I think what the residents and our residents really enjoy, is that we're creating communities within a space, but also adding and contributing and want to be a lively part and vibrant part of the community around us. To do that, we've done a lot of what we call experiential design. So that means that wherever you are in the building, in a community space, in a game room, in a co-working space, it feels like an experience. It feels like something special. You're not just renting an apartment. You're not just renting a bedroom or a kitchen, right? You're renting a lifestyle. You're a part of the community. So that includes everything within inside the building, like I said, everything adjacent as well. And it gives people spaces where they feel invited, warm, vibrant, and that it continues again throughout our communities and community spaces. And one way we've been able to do that over time is because of that fact that we manage our properties ourselves. We're able to use that management to get feedback from our residents. So we can take the input of what they like, what they find important, what they think is special, what they really value. We can elaborate on that when we create new spaces. So all the things that we've learned over the time, over our history, we can implement those tools into Green Bay as well. So they're constantly thinking about improving our design and improving our housing products. So I'm just going to go over a couple of our recently completed projects. Here you see Ascent, 259 units, 25 stories. It's the world's tallest mass timber building. For now, there's other people trying to beat us, but for now, we're going to claim that title. It's probably Milwaukee's most highly amenitized multifamily building. It is, you have an indoor-outdoor pool, you have private bar, you have a fitness center that would rival any sort of gym membership you could get in the area, private workspace, artist in residence, golf simulator, concierge, pet spa, outdoor lounge, grilling stations, outdoor screens for either cinema or watching the ball game. So again, some of these things that we've felt that you're creating a lifestyle, not just an apartment. So here you can see in detail some of the finishes, and this is on the 21st floor here, the images on the right. This is our community space, expansive windows, a lot of use of mass timber, fireplaces, seating, co-working, lounge area. Again, it gives you a place to go within the building that's not just in your unit, but again, it's places that are warm, comfortable, vibrant, and inviting. Here's on the left is our hybrid indoor-outdoor pool that sits on the 7th floor. So you actually open up all those windows and actually be outside, but still be protected from the building on the inside. It's also where we have a sauna. On the right, on the lower right is our entrance lobby. Again, a place where you often find people working, getting coffee, secure parcel room. And on the upper right is one of the units. Again, a lot of the mass timber wood finishes, but you can also see high-end appliances, high-end range, stone countertops, carpeted floors, vinyl floors. Again, it's a feeling of having that almost a single-family style amenities, but in your units. So here's Nova, just down the street from Ascent, actually. This is a 9 stories of light gauge steel on top of a concrete podium. We actually modeled our design for Cherry Street after Nova. So we encourage anyone to come visit Milwaukee. We'd be happy to show you around, but we'd definitely love to show you this building. So this was, what we're considering is Green Bay 1.0. So Green Bay will be Nova 2.0. It's going to have a lot of the same elements, a lot of the same design features, but again, because it's just only a couple years older, we've been able to see what works in the building and how we can improve it to bring an even better product to Green Bay. But this also has pet spa, pool, outdoor community deck, working space, community kitchens, grilling stations. And again, it gives you a urban feel, but it also, what it does is combine here on the corner, you can see a commercial space, and then along the right side there, you see we've integrated townhomes, and that's something that we wanted to bring to the Green Bay market as well, is that you're creating a retail space to connect to Washington Street, but also townhomes to connect down onto Cherry Street. So again, vibrant spaces, lots of color, highly amenitized, and then also stainless steel appliances, stone countertops, high-end finishes, again, giving people both great living spaces in and outside their units. High-end fitness room, which we've put into all of our projects, and again, let's see, we have oversized balconies, so it gives you unique viewpoints of the city. Again, that's something else that we'll have here in Green Bay as well. This is another project in Milwaukee. This is in the Bayview neighborhood. This we felt had a lot of ties to what we want to do here in Green Bay. Is that it's on basically in the starting point of a food and beverage and nightlife neighborhood of Bayview. So here we integrated a lot more commercial space, but this is also really unique. Is that this took a complex combination of parcels to get done. It also, we wanted to build or add on to a city park that's there. We took an underutilized street, turned it into a pedestrian plaza. Again, working with the city on so many levels to get things done, but again, to create a unique experience, not just in the building, but around it. So some of those experiential type of design elements, in the lobby you have, a nice seating area, but you also go for a little swing if you want. But on the rooftop deck, that's something we also wanted to bring to Green Bay too. Is something that would be a first to market, a very unique experience, bringing outdoor living and community space to a rooftop. Another thing that we wanted to point out with our municipal collaborations that we've done, Black Cat Alley in Milwaukee. It was a defunct alley that we turned into a mural art gallery, outdoor gallery. It's one of Milwaukee's top tourist destinations. Part of that, though, is the programming, and New Land is very active in the programming, as we are in our residential units as well. So it's great to have all these amazing spaces, but if you don't do any kind of programming, it can be lacking. So that's what we always focus on. So especially with Black Cat Alley, like in the buildings, we have yoga classes, pop-up markets, music, light displays. We've had photo shoots, wedding photos taken here, birthday parties, all that sorts of things. So we feel that this is going to be a really great, a great piece of the puzzle we bring to downtown, is being able to program some of the spaces around our development.
Where is Black Cat Alley in Milwaukee?
Black Cat Alley is along Milwaukee's east side, so it's just off of North Avenue.
Oh, right up north?
Yep.
On the east side?
Correct, correct. So it's, we've actually built the state's first food hall. It's called Crossroads Collective, and it's actually just kind of behind it in the alley there. There's also a speakeasy that runs in and out of the alley, but there's been, as you can see, if you flip through, again, the next couple photos too, live music, art display, parties. We've had part of our block, the block party for the area called Summer Solstice is very active. This is a part of the footprint now, so it's a very highly activated space. So what we're proposing for Cherry Street, 268 units, 8 stories total, and on our prominent corner in the southwest corner, 5,000 square feet of retail. What we're looking to do here is maximize activation, and we're going to do that through a number of uses, but also a number of different housing types in the building. And what we've done, and why we need this extra month, and what we've talked about and worked so well with the city, is that this is going to be a transformational development, but it's also achievable. So here we are facing, this is the southwest corner. You're seeing on the commercial space, floor-to-ceiling windows. Again, we want to be able to have transparency so you can see from the building, you can see what's happening outside, and from outside you can see what's happening in the building, kind of creating a great visual between the street. We'd like to create a great cafe space around the corner, so you're going to be able to fit potentially 100 people sitting outside. As you move further up, you see this kind of pergola-style structure. That's going to be overlooking the rooftop pool deck. And then you see on the ends, you're using a lot more masonry. You see the taller balconies. On the top floor, you'll see penthouse units. But having the change in color and change in material on the ends, it almost feels, or it's meant to feel like it's multiple different buildings, but actually it's just one building. So that's what we're able to do with creating the building efficiency, but make it feel like separate buildings and making it feel more complex and compelling. This is kind of, if you forward through yourself through the pergolas, here you are facing on top of the second floor, so this is actually the third floor, on top of the parking deck. This is the pool space. The glass areas on your right is going to be your fitness center, your community room, where you'll be able to have interaction and see what's outside while you're hanging out inside or doing your fitness routine. On the grassy area there, we potentially could have screens for TVs. You want to watch the big game. There's also going to be a golf simulator on this level. Again, we're thinking a lot of activity. What we've seen in the pools in the Milwaukee market is that during the season, this is where people hang out. It's not even just to go dunk in the pool, it's just to be around the pool, around the activity, giving people a sense of community and providing that community. Here's the view from inside that courtyard, viewing the same level. So from here, you'll be able to see the river, you'll be able to see across the river. You're also seeing patios extended off of units. What we found is an element we took from Nova in Milwaukee, is that you've been able to extend people's unit outdoors, so you almost have your own outdoor private patio space, and that's really been something special that our residents have really enjoyed. Also, what you see here in the middle of the courtyard, we've been able to implement a green roof system, so that will actually maximize the amount of storage of stormwater on site, so it'll be less impact. Again, part of that sustainability model that we take so much pride in. By having the stormwater on site and being able to handle it on site, that means it's less off site, less issues with stormwater, and actually ends up being less of an impact on the municipality financially. So if we walk around the building here, we are now on the northwest corner, looking down Washington. Again, expanded sidewalk as best we can, but we really want to create a cafe experience that people can enjoy year-round. As we wrap around the corner, now we're on Cherry Street, looking east. So this is the townhome entrances. So these are 2-story townhomes along Cherry Street, which extends those hours of activation, not just to when a potential restaurant or commercial users open, but 18 hours a day when people are coming in and out of their units. We find that this is something that we've done at Nova, but we're also implementing it on other projects now. People who have dogs love these units. It's a direct access outside, it's also direct access indoors to parking, yet all these units have full access to all the amenity spaces within the building. And as we come around, this is the corner of Cherry and Adams. So on the left side is where you'll, on the street level, that's where those townhomes will be. On the right side, it actually gets activated by our residential offices, lobby space. There's also bicycle parking and secure parcel room. So again, that corner to the north and to the west, or to the north and to the east, will have floor-to-ceiling windows, again, very active and transparent between the office space, the lobby, and everything happening on the street. So what we've been doing the last 3 months, obviously we had to come back to the extension in January. We're here one more time, hopefully. To do what we've done, we've had to go through a number of building reconfigurations. To build Nova. Nova was just completed last fall. To do that same building here, construction costs have already gone up over 25%. So we've had to figure out on a different size site how to make that building work. And so what we've done is we've been able to go through a couple different versions of the building, but we didn't want to take away anything from the building in terms of value. We still wanted to keep the same value. We still wanted to have the same number of units, keeping the density together. But we wanted to be able to provide the same resident experience as well. So once we've been able to reconfigure the building in a way that keeps that value, doesn't take away from the building, cheapen the building at all, we had to go through extensive budget modeling on how that's going to work. And that's a number of things that we've been working through with the city. Again, we've been having a great time. Really, to be honest, it's been a great experience working with the city staff, working on the development agreement, and being able to hopefully get that across the finish line very, very soon. So we're proposing a 1-month extension for the planning option. Again, we feel very close to getting that development agreement taken care of in just the next couple of weeks.
Excellent. Wow, you guys
So-
have done a lot of work. Beautiful project.
Thank you. Yeah, and we haven't taken any questions. Otherwise, thank you again for having us.
I know it's kind of early, but any ideas on retail, what would go in there?
So we've talked to a couple retailers. We're envisioning it to be a restaurant space. Should it be some other kind, that'd be great too. But we're thinking it's going to be something that's very complementary to already what's happening on Washington. So we're looking for a first-to-market, high-end food and beverage, but someone who's also going to be dynamic to work year-round, utilize the patio. And we've had a few ideas and a few conversations, but no one officially signed on yet.
And just a ballpark figure, what does the penthouse go for?
Penthouses are going to be on the higher end of Green Bay rents. We haven't really determined a final number for those yet, but those will have expanded living areas. Those will be much more like a single-family living type experience. Same with the townhomes.
Alderman Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Gary, because I got to bounce out to a meeting, so I appreciate letting me sneak in. Joey, we had a call.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
Zach,
did. Good to see you again.
Back in December. So I've been talking with these guys about a number of things. We met about new market tax credits, and what I appreciate is they're just kind of really kicking the tires on every possible option. So I think this is a no-brainer to approve this, and I'm sure you guys will have the right discussion, but they are very far along here. They're a good quality developer, the type you want in our community. Mayor, I don't think enough people joke enough about this, but when I met with Boris and Tim, we joked how this conversation really sparked with a tweet from you to Tim, if I recall correctly. And I remember joking to Tim, is that our economic development strategy?
Whatever works.
Yeah, and exactly. At the end of the day, it's you have to do what works, right? And so I appreciate these guys, taking an interest in Green Bay. And we've seen it all across the market. Housing is a need. And it is a need at every level. I've heard the mayor repeat this at many different events. Right. And the reality is, in today's market, subsidized housing is what's most attractive because of tax credits. It's really hard to make these deals work otherwise. And it doesn't erode at the need that we still have and the demand that we still have for market rate and luxury apartments. And so when you look at a project like this, I mean, I'm guessing this is probably, $70 million in construction costs? Maybe more, I don't know, but
We're getting around there, yep.
Yeah, but the reality is, I mean, this is, when you have market rate luxury apartments, it assesses higher as well. So this creates a lot of great opportunity for downtown, the density, the activation, this is a really good urban design for the heart of Green Bay. So I'm just obviously, as the alder for this area, encouraging you to support this planning option extension, because I think there's a lot here to take in that's really, really positive, and maybe this is just the first of many to come. I don't know, but, so,
That'd be great.
thanks. Good to see you guys.
Thank you, Alderman.
Mr.
Thanks,
Mayor,
Alderman.
Mr. Mayor, you like that?
Exactly what Brian said,
All right.
right? I mean, we're super excited about New Land, not just because of what they've done and the products that they've created and what they're offering here, but they also really care about cities. And they care about quality design and creating something that's valuable to our community as well as the residents that are going to live there. So I can't say enough about New Land as an entity and what they're offering us, so also urging an extension here.
Excellent. Debbie, please.
I haven't heard parking addressed at all.
So inside on the first 2 floors of the building is where the parking is housed. So we're actually, we're trying to hide the parking internally, so you're not
Okay.
seeing it from the outside. Again, another design that is a better fit for the neighborhood. We're at over a 1-to-1 parking ratio for units to parking stalls. What we found, both in our market study and just, our personal market studies, that there's a surplus of parking downtown. So we feel that our parking, should we need any overflow, should our guests or downtown visitors need it, there's a city-owned parking structure right next door. So if anything, that'll be actually drive more revenue towards the city-owned parking structure.
Great, thank you.
Primary masonry?
Yeah, masonry, and we're hardy plank siding, aluminum balconies, lots of glass, especially on the townhome side, lobby side, and along the commercial.
Any other questions for New Land?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
And then we'll go back to regular.
Motion to close the floor.
Second.
Motion and second to close the floor and back to regular business. All those here saying aye.
Aye.
I'd like to hear from Matt and Cheryl in particular, because I know that the two of you are working closely with them, and I know Matt, you in particular. So give us your thoughts.
It's been a very good working experience with New Land. They're top-notch developers. We've been working very closely these past several months. As Joey mentioned, there's been some changes to the design. So they've been working hard, and we are very close to wrapping up this development agreement. We're actually hoping to get it on this agenda, but we're just not quite there yet. So we'll come back next month.
Any other questions or comments?
This is a real
Okay, Cheryl, please.
fabulous project. Think about it, this is almost the epicenter of downtown Green Bay,
Absolutely.
right?
Thank you.
And when you look at the quality of product here, and what we have, the number of new residents downtown, I mean, it's a great project.
Excellent.
Yes, and it's an experience. I mean, I've seen these in much larger cities, so to be able to have those amenities, especially the dogs, that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
pet spa. I feel like a room.
My daughter lives in Denver, so I know.
Get Randy out if he shows
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I could use some grooming.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, Alderman Scannell, second by Matt. Any other questions or comments to the motion? If not, all those in favor, motion please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. Thank you, we're very
Thank
excited
you
about the
so
project.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Number 2.
Awesome.
Thank you.
so
Excellent
much.
job.
Good trip back.
Nice.
Number 2, consideration of possible action on the request by HR Green Bay owner LLC for consent to assignment, second amendment, and estoppel certificate, management agreement for the Green Bay Convention Center and Conference Center. That must be Cheryl.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that is a mouthful. And actually, Attorney Kocher worked on this as well. Right here. Good. So the Hyatt is actually being sold. And as a result of that, we have an agreement with the Hyatt for an operating agreement for the CAD Convention Center. So they approached us and said, look, we'd like an extension on this agreement. We looked at it, this agreement dates back to 1999, and we're like, well, let's look at some other things, right, as well. Let's take the opportunity to clean some things up. So what we did was, actually Lacey did the work on this, working with the team over there, and we back up. The new owners of the Hyatt will be putting a lot of money into the Hyatt. They're gonna do a major remodel. It's gonna be super nice. I mean, we're gonna do big investments, which is great.
Who bought it?
Oh, if we have questions, okay, and we do a rep from the buyers if you have questions with regards to this project. But in looking at this, the proposals that we're looking at for this change is that we're going to extend this agreement out to 2030. I think we were going to potentially renegotiate this next year in a year. Instead, we've extended this to 2030. We've asked for a one-time payment of $100,000. $25,000 of that's going to go to marketing the convention center, as well as going towards improvements that are made to the convention center. We get an annual payment from them, which is adjusted for consumer price index. We've adjusted that from $271,273 a year. That will start, and is that going to start right away?
It's effective January 1st, 24.
January 1st, 24, they will go up to $325,000 annually. And then we've also agreed to do, yes, retroactive. Yes.
Retro, okay.
So, and then we've also agreed to do a capital improvement study, so we can really lay out what's needed at the convention center. And like, we did not get that. But, just what's needed, what we can expect to move forward, how we can think about funding that in the future. So, with that, we're in agreement to extend this and to make these approvals for these legal documents.
So, you just highlight the big changes on the document. Is that possible, just to some of the things to highlight
On the document itself?
Yeah. Or you,
So
it's brand new, that's a brand new document. Is that it? It's brand new?
Yes, this agreement that's attached.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess in a nutshell, we get a one-time payment.
Yep.
100,000 with 25 going to marketing.
Yep.
This is going to be extended to 2030.
Yep.
The agreement. The payment will go up to $325,000 a year.
Yep.
From 271 to 273. And then we are agreeing to do a capital needs improvement study in cooperation with the team.
Sorry, you
So, no, that's okay.
Thank you.
Those are really the changes that are made to this. So, and great relationship with them. We're
Absolutely.
working together. We have common interest in, of course, making the convention center as profitable as we can. So,
And it's part of the
and they're
backbone of
involved with
our
that as well.
I was gonna say, but we still own the convention
We
center,
do.
right?
We do.
Hyatt's being sold, but.
Correct. Correct.
So this is
I'm
just
a
a
little
transfer assignment of the operating
Of the
agreement. but
operating
with-
agreement to the new
With updated terms,
owners.
correct, yes.
Okay.
The monthly payment, where's that money coming?
That goes into a fund that's used for capital improvements. We've got
Oh, so it stays right there.
We've got maybe 1.8 million in that.
Hey.
We need a fact-finding mission in Mexico.
Questions or comments in regard to the agreement?
No, well done.
It's the
Good job.
backbone of our downtown, the center.
Yeah.
So whatever you do to help it be successful, we're going to do.
The new owners, do they have experience operating convention center / hotels?
Again, we can open it up and have them speak if you'd like, but yes, I believe they own the
Oshkosh, you mentioned the owner, yes.
I would suggest we open it up.
Motion to open the floor.
Isos is on, she's an associate with Denton's that represents the prospective buyer. If she, hear me, I'm not sure.
Oh, she's online?
Yep.
Motion
Thank you.
a second to open the floor. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
He is on as well, so I'm sure he's happy to jump in.
Sure, Isos, if you just want to introduce yourselves again, they were just doing a motion to open the floor while you were saying that.
Sorry.
Sure. So we represent Scarlett, and I have Sue on the line as well, who's one of the principals of Scarlett. And I know the question came out about whether there's experience with managing convention center, health, and yes, I'm sure that Zee will speak more to that, but there is a property in Oshkosh, which I think you just mentioned, that safety structure is being put in place. So I'll let Zee kind of talk a little bit more about that. Zia?
We can't hear you. If you could unmute yourself, maybe?
Perhaps he dropped off. Okay, to the extent I can answer any questions, happy to.
Yeah, just one question I have, is there an intent to change, the banner of the hotel from Hyatt to anything else?
No, yes. No. So Hyatt will stay on as franchisor, and everything pretty much stays the same. It's just now Scarlett is stepping into that operator role.
So it stays.
And are there changes to the actual physical property of the hotel, renovations, upgrades, or, what's any kind of plans in that regard?
Yeah, so I can't speak to the designs themselves, but yes, there is an intent to renovate the property and to lift up the face of the property. And I believe the city had spoken to us about possibly adding even an escalator. So all those things are being considered, and it's going to be a facelift and hopefully the chance to make it even more attractive to business for the convention center. So yes, that's the plan. And I wish Theo was here to talk a little bit more about that and give a little bit more presentation, but I know that there have been talks with the city and the parties that need to know what's going on do know, so.
And then just one last question would be all along the timeline here. When would be the timeline on plan change of ownership? And then when would construction start, and how long is the thought that construction might last?
So I cannot speak to construction at this time, but we're happy to get back to you on that. But in terms of the change in ownership, we are targeting the end of this month. So April 30th is the closing date.
Okay. That's it for me.
And I believe they're doing a full, like every room. That's being remodeled.
Oh, wow.
Told us about $40,000 per room investment.
It's a big renovation.
Wow. Yeah.
They're big rooms.
I had a bunch of questions, but you just asked them all, so.
Those are big questions there.
Any other questions for?
Nope.
Okay.
Motion to close the floor?
Second.
A motion and a second to close the board back to regular order business. All those in favor, someone say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We're back to regular order business.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's been a motion and a second to approve the new agreement. Questions or comments in regard to the motion? Yes, Alderman, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Just real quick, I want to acknowledge and thank Cheryl, who's had a lot of involvement with the convention center over the years.
Yes.
Kind of the resident expert, and has done a fantastic job kind of managing that relationship
Absolutely.
and transitioning ownership here. But also Lacey in particular. I think Starla would acknowledge she drives a very fair bargain and has gotten a solid deal for the city here. So I really appreciate her work on this too.
Good comment. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I thought you were on
That's right.
All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Excellent job. It's
Thank
always
you so
exciting.
much.
This will go on to city council then for final approval.
Okay.
The 16th.
That facelift really sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Number 3, consideration of possible action to approve a 6-month extension to the planning option for RD-owned property located on University Avenue, parcel 7-709-1, for development of multifamily rental housing.
Yep. I'll go ahead with that, Gary.
Yes, please.
Last summer, Golden House had approached our RDA staff and NeighborWorks regarding creating affordable units for families transitioning out of the Golden House. And in that approach there, RDA staff and Golden House are now working together with NeighborWorks to create those units. And the proposal that NeighborWorks brought forward to us at that time were 16 units. Those are a mix of studios, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. So in July, RDA offered them, awarded them the planning option for a 6-month planning option. In January, staff was able to approve a 3-month extension. And now with the new design, they are requesting a 180-day extension to continue to look at the viability of this project. Staff has reviewed it, and we're recommending a 3-month extension that will also allow us the viability of the development as well. And we would like to give some suggestions to the design
Excellent.
that they're looking at. So that is our request at this time.
Questions, comments?
Question, Rhonda, or could be anyone. I know there's this trail kind of extension behind there.
Yeah.
Are there any impediments to that going forward? Is there more land we need to acquire or anything, or is that pretty close?
So when this trail was being put in originally, we knew that we wanted to clean this land.
Yep.
So we've actually been working in cooperation with the Parks Department in the layout of this site, so it would be ready for us when the trail kayak launch was improved, as well as Golden House just of course did their new facility next door.
And it looks great.
So we're ready, so we're ready to go with this. We also have another lot on St. George. That's available for a single-family build.
No, I thought the concept seemed great. It's not like I'm an expert on this or anything, but just the whole idea of what Golden House had built there, and then this idea around affordable housing, creating a pathway, right, that seemed like a much easier and a very holistic care plan almost, to that extent, to make what has to be an incredibly difficult transition period in life more humane and manageable. So the idea to me seemed wonderful. I have no idea, obviously. Just the idea seemed great, and so was very supportive of the concept. And with anything, and I was very supportive of the 3-month as well. If anything, I'm like, hey, how can we go faster?
Yes, please, Deb.
So, too small to be a tax credit project, obviously. But are you working on getting vouchers attached to the units?
So Golden House actually has available to them emergency shelter grants. It's not a voucher, it's a specific kind of voucher to help people transition into new housing. So they have their set of funding.
Okay.
This unit, this project, I think we were looking at a mix, actually. Some units partnering with Golden House, some potentially market, some in the middle.
Yep.
So we're working that out now. But so the resources are there to support Golden House for the rent at this point.
Okay.
So now I think really NeighborWorks is working on the contractors and bidding and getting those prices.
Yeah.
Which is not easy.
And they have a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about everything that's gone through.
Good work. That's because
getting one house.
NeighborWorks works.
NeighborWorks works, there you go.
Hey Debbie, just a quick question, because you just said it's too small for tax credits. Is that like a number of units definition, or
Yeah.
how many units is the minimum on?
Usually like 60.
Okay, so quite a bit.
Who would Debbie going to?
Rita. They'd be awarded by Rita to the tax credits, yeah.
We have some funding sources available as well, once we get all the numbers together to see what that gap might be on this project. So we have some ARPA dollars, and some home funding, which could subsidize it.
Good.
Well, what you want is a continuum of services.
Correct.
And this
So the
really,
residents actually have
Yes.
use of the Golden House
Right.
building, for their laundry and their food, they'll still have that relationship
Right.
with staff, which is really good.
well, it's great to fill in every gap we can with that continuum. A golden opportunity.
There you go. There you go.
On his way out.
Maybe we
On
should
his
just switch
way out.
places.
I think it flows with the alder.
Yeah.
So,
well.
to you.
I'm not that witty.
Motion to approve.
Wait,
Oh,
Deb, please.
hold on. But it, I'm sorry. It says 6 months, but you were talking about 3.
Right.
They're asking for 6-month extension.
Okay.
We are recommending a 3-month extension.
Okay, but here it says 6.
Right, because that's their ask. The motion, we'd like it to be, would be 3.
Right.
And it says in the document 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That what you put on? Did you
Yep.
put that in the staff
Yep.
report? It says,
Yep.
I went in and checked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then you're recommending 3 months, right?
Most definitely.
Recommended by the staff, okay.
Okay.
And was there a second?
Sure.
Oh,
Yes.
Kathy, please. Questions or comments in regard to the motion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, thank you. I didn't have any questions on the check register. There are only 2, there wasn't much there. And Cheryl, I should have walked you ahead of time, but I wonder if you could walk us through the report. You know, with Steve being brand new, for one thing, but for all of us actually, if you could walk us at a high level, your project report.
Thanks for the benevolence, Gary. Great.
Do you have a copy of that?
Oh,
Yeah, it's on the, oh, it's in the.
It's at the end of the agenda.
It's in
End
the
of the
agenda.
agenda.
I should have worn the agenda.
The director's
All right,
report?
Yeah, is it under directors?
Page
Page 25 of the agenda. All right. Merge at Shipyard still on board to be breaking ground later this summer, early fall.
Yes, they are shooting for August as break grounds. We are working on the CSMs now. Those should be wrapped up here any day.
Excellent.
City East Department's well under construction on all that.
Steve, know where shipyard is? Okay, just making sure. There's gonna be some lingo going here fast.
Some lingo.
Just ask questions.
Born and raised, sir, I know it pretty well, yeah.
All right.
City East under construction, which was the director, I want you to see that. The city lots under construction as well, and that's the best Foods on University Avenue. 200 North Monroe, still working with Ted Mackham. He's actually, his investors and requested a market study for the units.
Good.
So he's working on that.
Good.
JDS, we got housing proposals in, which are being reviewed now.
Actually, here at 3 o'clock, we'll be talking about.
3 o'clock today.
We've got 5 development proposals in.
And I think we have a
That's
meeting
awesome.
scheduled, is it this week or next?
Nice.
Must be.
Real estate subcommittee, next week, next week Friday.
Yes, next Friday.
Fantastic. Those. Newland at Sherry is kind of on hold. We're looking at, of course, that's the.
Newland.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep getting these mixed up. Newland, you just saw, yay.
Yes.
Let's move forward.
Yep, yep.
We'll go to the other Sherry. Former Badger sheet metal received 11 responses to that. That's the fire station housing combination
Yep, yep.
on Broadway. So those are being, I think we've got the top 3 now, maybe we've worked down. So we're
Yep.
thinking we're going to choose that person soon on that.
Oh, great, great.
Ford at Rail Yard continues to be under construction. Cherry Faith Properties, they've actually withdrawn. They've officially withdrawn their request on that site in this last month, so.
I was kind of shocked when I read that. After all that we just went through, it's like,
No kidding.
So that site will be open again, which we can run. Okay, 222 Cherry, Peter Nugent. That's the one that's tied to the Three Corners property, that
Yes.
vacant site. We're still waiting to get our phase 1 back on environment.
Yes.
Take a look at that. Those 2 sites, is my understanding, are tied together with him for development purposes. So we need to make a decision if we have an interest in that vacant land as a donation or not.
Yep.
Tied to Cherry Street.
Good.
We just talked about University Avenue and the Works, 4th Street, they're still under planning action, continue to work on that. Marion Gallagher, I'm not sure what that is, the PO is expired. I think NeighborWorks still would be interested in that site, but we certainly have the ability to go out for that one as well, if we choose to. 1035 Vanderbrack, we received a proposal from Dana Capital, looking at the numbers on that, kind of reviewing that proposal. Big gap on that one, so we're still reviewing that one.
Good.
We're pulling a redevelopment, and we just had a meeting with the county and Sea Rice folks a couple weeks ago. They've been moving forward. I think a lot of it is in the county's hands now, and some things they need to get done.
There's a major grant application in with the federal government.
Okay.
So a lot of progress is really contingent on winning that. It's called a RAISE grant. And so we should hear back May, June timeframe on that.
Fantastic. Great.
Carnivore, I think, will be done and officially open and ready to go.
Big.
The Grandview project number 2, that is, we're looking at the developer on that one.
Yeah, this is just next door to Carnivore to
Right.
the east. we took this through the finance committee because this is a city-owned parcel, not an RDA-owned parcel.
Okay.
But it's a manufacturing project, very preliminary stages, but they've got planning options to start their due diligence.
Manufacturing,
More details to be shared at a later date.
Fantastic.
That's a grand view project.
No more for you.
Okay. Prepare phase one.
spa pet grooming supplies.
It's a pet spa. No,
Yeah.
Prepare phase one, that'll be completed this year.
Phase one is, we're shooting for July for phase one to be done and start accessing the site early.
Public improvements from July. And then phase two will be bidding out this year, correct?
Yeah, we're working on
That space.
the RFP now for engineering. So last month, RDA and council, you remember?
Yes.
Approved the grants
Yep.
and the change to the development agreement. So that all got approved at council.
Thanks for all your hard work, Matt.
Happy to.
Shower and Schumacher, that planning option with 33 Investment LLC is expired.
Yes.
So back to the drawing board, we had some interest and we took some developers through that site, so we're hoping that.
How long has that one been undeveloped?
It's been-
I knew you were gonna ask
Since
that.
I've been on this.
And can we bring in the wrecking ball?
I don't think we can bring in the wrecking ball, because it's a
Why?
designated property. It's a historic.
So it's just
I-
gonna
I would-
sit
I would
empty,
say-
though, this is frustrating.
I would say we've got one more shot, legitimately. And then.
Can we mark those words and write them down?
Happy to.
And I just say this from,
Yeah.
this is a personal frustration. It's been, how long has that been off the tax rolls?
It's been a long time, 10 years.
14, 15?
It's 10 years.
Oh, that sounds.
And it's like, how many planning options have we had? To me, in my opinion, this thing clearly looks undevelopable unless we pay for it all. And that's where I'm getting to with,
Yep.
right, we've had some problems around
Yeah.
that area. It's like,
Yeah.
You know, one thing
This is
that's
an
changed-
opportunity.
One thing that has changed at least is that there's a new owner of the old big theater now. So in the past, there's been an issue with access from that building to the window.
Yeah.
And now, and that owner, Steve Schneider, is working with us because he would actually like to see like the whole corner be developed.
Yep.
His building as well as this building. So that's kind of what we're working on now, but you're right.
And honestly, I mean, you can honestly hold me to what I just said.
I'm not really going, but I'm
I
just,
think we need to take one more shot at it,
Yeah.
and then we need to seriously investigate what we would have to do in order to demo it. Yeah, at least
Right.
part of it. Yeah.
Right, now, that's what I'm saying, are they two, I mean, they can be separated, can't they? Because it seems like one seems to be in better shape than the other.
They can be.
Both heavy lifts.
Thanks for your comments, Matt. Thank you. Okay, next one.
There we go. Green Bay
Yeah.
Plaza.
Hang in there.
Green Bay Plaza, we're close to executing that. That was an approved development agreement for the water lines.
Right.
Southwest Woods. This is the project on the far west side.
Yep.
Development agreement,
Hinkle.
moving
Yep.
forward. Veterans Village. Veterans Village will be coming, I think they're gonna have a special plan commission meeting, it'll be the first week of May on this one, so it's gonna be the plan commission. And then, at this point, they haven't asked for assistance from us.
We haven't received any requests.
Right, so that one's still moving forward.
You still hearing
There's
pushback on that?
questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a contentious project with the neighborhood. And then the following properties are new home builds, right? Rhonda, Harold, Bear, Broadway.
Correct.
Either under construction or close to being complete.
Yep.
Habitat's got the last three. And then the Habitat Homestead, we're ready to go on that. That's, we've approved the agreement on that for the street, so. The street's going in this year and they're gonna start work this year, so.
Fantastic. And Rhonda, maybe our next meeting or whatever, the report back on property we own for Steve.
Always ready, yep.
Yeah.
I can definitely do that.
Just a good recap.
Yep.
It's just good background information for all of us.
Absolutely.
And the same thing with our kids. Diana, have her come in and give us a report back on those as well.
She's online.
That's just good background information for all of us too.
Well, with the TIDS, the JRD,
Meets in June.
right, so it's she has to do all that work anyway, around the
Okay.
June timeframe, so.
Whatever
Somewhere around there.
Absolutely, thank you.
Just do it after that.
Yeah,
Are you looking
I
at
agree.
that?
Do it after that, absolutely.
Christensen and on Veterans Home?
I-
He's a community member over there, and I know he's working on it.
We've received
We're really good
communications from
friends.
him.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments or questions for staff or Mr. Mayor?
Just comments to staff in general, just great stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice
Just
job, guys.
continue to move it all
Absolutely.
forward, and I know there's a bunch of people who aren't here who are doing work too, and, make sure that they
Absolutely.
know how much we appreciate, and the city really appreciates all the work that's going on, because there's great stuff. That's cool.
And they keep moving it.
That's right.
Nice job.
I know Kathy likes shovels in the ground, right, Kathy?
Yeah, I'm all about shovels in the ground.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn it.
There's anything, aye?
Aye.
Thanks, Randy.
Sure, there we go.
Yeah.
Or-
Recording stopped.